Yo everybody, how's it going? Raf here. Welcome back to another video of mine. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Today I have a pair of sneakers that is very special because this is the first time that these come out in 20 years actually. The sneakers come out before, but this specific colorway hasn't seen the light of day since 2005. So I'm really excited for these. I don't know about you guys, but can't wait to get my hands on them and put them on my feet, and start wearing them. So let's get right into it. I can't wait anymore. We're gonna do a 360 of the shoe to start off with. I'm gonna talk about the materials, the history, the design, all that good stuff. Tell you guys what I like, what I don't like, and we'll pretty much wrap it up from there. So let's get right into it. So this is the 2025 retro of the Signal Blue colorway. The last time these came out, like I said, was in 2005. Which brings me to my first point. It seems like Nike overlooks a lot of its retros. Well, first of all, most of its retros they overlook. They have such a wide catalog of sneakers that they could just jump into, and yet they don't. So many shoes that people want too, And these ones, for example, Nike has released the sports red version of these a million fucking times. Well, that's a stretch, but they've just had a lot more releases and a lot more marketing over any of their Spiridons. And the Spiridons is a shoe that, man, the OG colorways were dope. You had 5 OG colorways. You had the sports red, you had these, you had the Concords, which were white, and they had a bunch of purple all on the mudguard, and in a bunch of like little places like the speed lacing system. It was a really good colorway. There was the golden rods for women and the photo blues for women as well, which the photo blues recently came out as well. They have like a white upper, a white slash like grayish upper, and right here on the swoosh it's outlined in baby blue, or photo blue if you will, but it's more like a baby blue, sort of a, not quite a UNC, but really going on to the UNC vibe. So yeah, a lot of cool colorways that Nike just seems to overlook for the sports red, the ones that everybody and their grandmother wants each time they come out. They recently came out in December, I think, and same thing. They sold out while these are sitting. These have been sitting for about a month. They came out early March, and I just went to the store the other day and I picked them up. I had some work shoes I had to buy, and they're Clarks, so they sell them in like the little upscale boutiques, and all that stuff. And these were there as well, and I decided to pick them up. Why not? They had my size, and it's an OG colorway. It's right up my alley. It's the kind of shoe that I really like. It's OG, it's quirky. Not a lot of people are gonna know or even wear these, except old heads or OGs. And yeah, right up, this is my jam. Stuff that people haven't really seen before, or that if you know type of thing. So I really like these. Really a type of shoe that speaks to me. But let's get into these materials because they're really interesting. You have this faux midsole, this EVA / Phylon midsole, really soft and squishy. I'm pretty sure that Travis Scott is using this new midsole on his new pair of sneakers. I don't know the name. I don't really keep up with the Travis Scott sneakers like that, but they have a strap going around the laces, but I don't know the name, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same tooling or very similar. They have this wavy shit pattern in the midsole. That's all I know, but I'm pretty sure it's the same part. So they're using the same tooling. These have Zoom Air. These were the first running shoe to utilize Zoom Air. The first shoe to use it was the Ergo LWP. It was a basketball sneaker from 1995, if I'm not mistaken. But these were the first running shoe to use it, and the way it's made it's really fucking special. You got this this outsole, and the Zoom airbag is like glued onto it, and you got these pods, these rubber pods on top of it to create support, and it's really bouncy. It doesn't really feel like it, but once you wear them, you can definitely feel it. The Zoom Air is getting like transported as you put your weight on the shoe by these little like bridge connectors things right here. I don't know how you want to call them, but these little connectors, it makes the shoe basically very bouncy and responsive to the foot and how it moves, and it's all very strategically placed. This is not my first pair of Spiridons. The first pair I had, the reason why I got rid of them is because of that technology. It just felt really weird on my foot. I just wasn't used to it, I guess, and the sizing was all wrong. Sizing on these, by the way, is true to size. If you have a wide foot, I would suggest going half a size up, because that That right here, that part is very, very narrow. So if you have wider feet, I would suggest trying them on or going half a size up if you can't try them on, just to be on the safe side. But me, I have medium to narrow feet, so it doesn't really bother me, and the sizing is good as far as I'm concerned. But sorry about that, by the way. I tried them on in the house, and my house, the floors need some cleaning, as you can see. But it just makes for a really bouncy and really weird ride, if I'm being honest. It's really weird at first. It definitely takes some time to get used to it, because it's hard to describe. It's like you're not very stable at first. That's how you're gonna feel. It's like, because it's not a one piece outsole. It's like I said, it's like strategically placed, so it's not like even. I don't know how to say it, but you really gotta wear them to know what I mean. Like, they're really weird at first, but then they get super comfortable, and of course the Zoom Air just does its job, and it's just a really comfortable, lightweight, and breathable shoe overall. But the materials, let's talk about the materials other than the midsole and the Zoom Air. So you got this really rugged, like canvas type of feel right here. I don't know what it is exactly, but it definitely looks to be very, very durable. So these are gonna last a long while, I think, because you can just hear when you scratch it, nothing's getting through to that. At least I don't think so. You got a oversized swoosh right here, and I don't know how it's gonna show up on camera or in the sun, but there's sort of like this iridescent kind of like glitter effect, depending on how you look at the swoosh, and on the midsole as well, which just makes it really, really cool, especially on the midsole. I don't think it's gonna show up on camera, but if you have these in person, it's a really special thing to see. Kind of reminds me of the Aqua 8s, the 2015s. They had this glitter on them. These are kind of similar, but on the white, it just really, really pops. It's really a fun shoe, honestly. And you got 3M strips all over the shoe, including right here, over the tongue, and on the back as well. So if you're doing some night running, you're going to be very visible, and it's going to be a very safe endeavor for you. But this is the like I said, this is the Air Zoom Spiridon, but the first time that the Spiridon name was used wasn't in '97, it was in '84. They made the Spiridon in '84 for the LA Olympics, and they had another version with a gold swoosh called the Spiridon Gold. And these actually had a sequel in 2003. I made a review on them. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was called the Air Zoom Spiridon Cage 2. An entirely looking different shoe, but still part of the Spiridon lineup nonetheless. They had this like Zoom Air in the back with like a cage. Just a really cool concept, but these just, like, you look at this and you're like, what the hell is this, you know? I can hardly describe what this looks like. It kind of reminds me of a golf course. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but to me it does. And you got this mesh right here on the upper. The mesh is very, very bright. This shoe in person looks absolutely amazing. It's sort of like this royal vibe to it. The original colorway was called Sport Blue, by the way, not full Signal Blue like it says, but the original name was Sport Blue, and it just looks really good. It's sort of like a royal blue, but not quite as deep, but it's really, really nice. It pops for sure. And of course you have the speed lacing system, the white laces. I kind of laced them up as I usually would. And you got the speed lacing system right here, very reminiscent of everything else that Nike was doing in the 90s. You know, the 11s had it, the 10s, Air Max 95s, all sorts of shoes back then just had this, the Air Jordan 9 too. And it's a really convenient system. You know, it was made just to put your shoes on easily. You just pull, that's the spirit. You just pull, and in one shot, and it just laces up, basically, not by itself, but you know what I mean. You don't gotta pull each row to make the shoe tighter. And on the inside you have Zoom Air, of course, on the insole. And this shoe is going to be very stiff at first when you first wear it, but like I said, as it breaks in, it's just going to be a lot more comfortable, just because of the materials used. You know, this is a very rugged material, as I said, and then you got the 3M strips, the leather, and the 3M right here. It just makes for a sort of a stiff ride at first, but once you get used to it, man, it's a really comfortable ride. And I'm very happy to have these, man. 2005, 20 years, it's a long time. I'm 24, so I was 4 years old when these last released. And the last time that the Spiridon released as a whole was in 2016, I think. From 2016 to 2018, they had a retro run, and Same thing happened back then. You know, they released the sports red. Everybody went crazy for them, especially the older sneakerheads, the older generation, the generation before me. They went crazy for those. I remember back then. I didn't get them, not because I didn't like them, but it was I just didn't have any money, I think. My first pair of Spiridons were the Stashes, the Stash collab, and like I said, that was just a terrible purchase. I don't think I got my correct size or something. Something was wrong with that shoe, because I tried these on and these were perfect. They were very comfortable for the short amount of time that I wore them, and I don't know what it was with that other pair. It just felt very unstable. They gave me blisters. I mean, I wore them like 3-4 times. They gave me terrible blisters, so I just sold them. Even though I really liked that shoe, it was a really nice pair of sneakers. You know, all blue, with some nice suede and all that stuff. But just had to get rid of them, because I couldn't walk like a mile in them. So what was the point, you know? But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I've said what I had to say. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys at the next time. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.